Hey there, ever wondered where we all come from? No, not the birds and the bees. I mean all of us, humanity as a whole. Scientists have been on a quest to find our deepest common ancestors, and what they found is mind-blowing. Through genetics, researchers have uncovered a universal link in our DNA, revealing that all humans, no matter where they come from, share a common ancestry. Yes, even that annoying neighbor of yours. This led to the discovery of two key figures in human genetic history: Mitochondrial Eve and Y-Chromosomal Adam. But before you picture a prehistoric couple going on romantic dates, hold that thought. These names come from evolutionary genetics, not a love story. Mitochondrial Eve is the most recent common maternal ancestor, and Y-Chromosomal Adam is the most recent common paternal ancestor. And no, they didn't live at the same time or meet up for dinner. But their discovery completely changes how we think about human origins. So, what does this all mean for us? Stick around, because we're about to dive into the fascinating science behind our shared ancestry. Now, let's talk about someone special, Mitochondrial Eve. No, she's not the first woman ever, but she is the one we all have in common. Scientists traced all of humanity's maternal ancestry back to her using a tiny but powerful part of our cells, mitochondrial DNA. Unlike regular DNA, mitochondrial DNA, or mtDNA, comes only from your mother. That means every single person alive today carries a genetic thread that can be traced back to one woman who lived around 150 to 200,000 years ago. But don't imagine her as the only woman around. Mitochondrial Eve wasn't alone. There were plenty of other women at the time, but only her lineage survived unbroken all the way to today. So why did her lineage win the genetic lottery? It all comes down to evolution and chance. Other maternal lines disappeared over generations due to things like natural selection, genetic drift, and, well, life's unpredictability. Mitochondrial Eve helps us understand how we're all connected. Her existence is a reminder that, despite our differences, humanity shares a single, unbroken thread through time. And this is just one piece of the puzzle. Now that we've met Mitochondrial Eve, it's time to talk about someone just as important: Y-Chromosomal Adam. But don't picture him as the first man ever. Instead, he's the one whose Y chromosome got passed down through all living men today. The Y chromosome is special. It's only passed from father to son, like a biological heirloom. Scientists trace this genetic lineage back to a single man who lived between 200,000 and 300,000 years ago. But let's clear up a myth. Y-Chromosomal Adam wasn't the only guy around. He had plenty of male contemporaries, but only his direct male lineage survived to the present day. Unlike Mitochondrial Eve, Y-Chromosomal Adam lived at a different time. Male and female lineages don't evolve in sync. They change based on population sizes, survival, and pure chance. So, what does this mean? Every man alive today carries a direct genetic link to this ancient ancestor, tying together the entire human family tree in an unexpected way. That wraps up our look at Y-Chromosomal Adam. While he and Mitochondrial Eve weren't a couple, they both show how all of humanity is linked through genetics. Now, let's explore what this means for our history. Alright, now that we've met Mitochondrial Eve and Y-Chromosomal Adam, let's clear up a huge misconception. No, they were not a couple. In fact, they didn't even live at the same time. But why does that matter? Well, it changes how we see human ancestry. Think of human ancestry like a giant, sprawling tree. It's not a single straight line. It's a massive web of connections. Eve and Adam are just special reference points in that web, not the origin of all humans. These titles, Mitochondrial Eve and Y-Chromosomal Adam, aren't about the first man and woman. They're about the most recent common ancestors in specific genetic lines. Maternal and paternal, many other people were alive back then too. So why them? Over time, other genetic lines disappeared, while Eve's mitochondrial DNA and Adam's Y chromosome survived through chance, natural selection, and history. But they weren't alone. They were just lucky in the genetic lottery. Bottom line: Adam and Eve weren't a prehistoric power couple. They were statistical milestones in our genetic past, showing how all humans today connect through different ancestral pathways. Our real story is far bigger and way more interesting. Alright, we've met Mitochondrial Eve and Y-Chromosomal Adam, but what do they actually tell us about human history? Well, their existence supports one of the biggest scientific breakthroughs about our past: the out of Africa theory. Let's break it down. Scientists believe that all modern humans can trace their origins back to Africa. Our distant ancestors started their journey there before spreading across the globe. That means, surprise, we're all connected no matter where we come from. And here's something even more important. These findings completely debunk myths about racial purity. The idea that any group of people is somehow genetically separate from the rest? Nope. Our DNA tells a different story. We've been mixing for tens of thousands of years. From ancient trade routes to migrations, humanity has always been on the move, constantly reshaping who we are. Over time, different populations have met, mixed, and shared their genes, making us one big human family. So, what does this all mean? It means that every single one of us is part of a vast, interconnected story. A history of migration, adaptation, and shared ancestry. Our differences are just small branches on the same family tree. And with that, we wrap up this chapter. The story of our genetic ancestors isn't just about the past. It's a powerful reminder that we are all connected. But science doesn't stop here. Let's see what modern genetics tells us about our place in the world today. And here we are, the final chapter of our story. But don't go anywhere just yet, because the science of human ancestry is far from over. Genetic research is constantly refining our understanding of the past. As new discoveries emerge, our timeline of human ancestry evolves, revealing even more about where we come from. By studying ancient DNA, population genetics, and evolutionary biology, scientists are uncovering hidden chapters in our shared history, sometimes rewriting what we thought we knew. But beyond just history, this research has a bigger message. It reminds us that we are all part of one human family. No matter where we live, our roots are deeply connected. And that's the real takeaway. Our differences are just tiny variations in an enormous, beautiful tapestry of humanity. Science confirms what we already know deep down. We are one species, united by our past and our future. Now, if you've enjoyed this journey through our genetic history, don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps the channel grow, and let's be honest, you wouldn't want to miss more mind-blowing science, right? And before you go, tell us in the comments, what surprised you most about our genetic past? Did this change the way you think about human ancestry? Let's keep the discussion going.